Irish people have a fascination with property and land and have done for many, many years. There's probably historical reasons for that. But one case which has just started at the High Court there today is the case involving John Magnier and the purchase or alleged purchase of the Barne Estate in County Tipperary. This case is probably going to generate a fair amount of interest, especially given the characters involved, Magnier and others, and especially given the price of the property and so on. So the case opened today in the High Court, and Senior Counsel for Magnier, Paul Gallagher, Senior Counsel, he said that the owner of the Barne Estate in County Tipperary had agreed a sale to John Magnier before being, quote, beguiled by an alternative bidder. That's what Paul Gallagher, Senior Counsel, told the Commercial Court. Mr. Magnier and his son, John Paul Magnier, and his daughter, Catherine Watchman, have taken legal proceedings against Barne Estate owner Richard Thompson Moore and three companies of IQEQ Jersey, the holding company of the Barne Estate shares, over a purported sale that occurred on August 22nd, 2023. They claim that Magnier and Mr. Thompson Moore agreed to the sale of the 751-acre estate in County Tipperary for a price of 15 million. The Barne Estate, or the Barne defendants, say there was never any such agreement to sell the estate to Mr. Magnier, and they subsequently agreed to sell it for €22.5 million to construction magnate Mr. Regan, founder of a New York building firm, J.T. Megan. Mr. Regan is not a party to the case. Magnier's barrister, Paul Gallagher, Senior Counsel, said that he could prove that it was, quote, an unequivocal case that Mr. Thompson Moore and his wife Anna had agreed to a sale of the land at a meeting in Mr. Magnier's Coolmore house. The contemporaneous notes taken by the parties involved would show it was, quote, indisputable that the deal had taken place, he told the judge. The Thompson Moores had sought to take refuge in the land being held in a discretionary trust in Jersey, and therefore they did not have approval to sell the estate to Mr. Magnier on August the 22nd, Mr. Gallagher said. So he's claiming that the Thompson Moores are basically looking to hide behind this trust in Jersey, which presumably they control the shares, but Mr. Gallagher seems to be suggesting they will be claiming that they needed the approval of the trust in order to sell, and that they didn't have the authority to sell. However, Gallagher Senior Counsel claimed that the trust in question had no real status and no phone call was made by the Thompson Moores on the night of the alleged sale. This proved, according to Gallagher, that they did not need the approval of any trust to sell the estate. The Barne Estate was put up for sale by Savills and the local agent John Stokes in July, on July the 16th or 17th. Mr. Magnier made an initial offer of $11.5 million on August the 16th. 3 bids had been made and rejected, and no progress had been made on a sale. He then invited, through intermediaries, the Thompson Moores to his home on August 22nd in order to complete the sale. Mr. Magnier made it clear that if they were not interested in doing a deal, there was no point in coming, Mr. Gallagher said, and he would never have done the deal with the Thompson Moores if it was thought that they had to refer back to trustees for approval. The deal was then done on August the 22nd, according to Mr. Gallagher, with a number of ancillary terms that a long-term employee of the estate column of Flaherty would be offered a job and the farm machinery would be sold separately. An exclusivity deal was done so that Mr. Magnier could plough the land. The sale was supposed to have been concluded a month to the day after the agreement. However, it subsequently emerged that during this period, the Thompson Moores, encouraged by Mr. Stokes, thought they could consider other offers, Mr. Gallagher told the Commercial Court. They, according to Gallagher, foolishly and wrongly believed that they could contact Mr. Regan, the US-based businessman, who offered €22.5 million for the estate. Mr. Gallagher contended that the Thompson Moores had therefore been beguiled by Mr. Regan. Mr. Magnier, barrister, said not only was a significant number of documents confirming the agreement, but there were many versions of them. The case is expected to last at least 13 days, and Mr. Magnier will be the first witness, and presumably he will be going into the witness box tomorrow. after the opening statement by Mr. Gallagher and presumably an opening statement by counsel for the Thompson Moors. It'll be an interesting case, it'll be an expensive case, but when you're looking at a property costing 11.5 million or 22.5 million or whatever it is, then you mightn't be too concerned about a High Court case that's expected to last a number of weeks in the High Court. But it will be interesting. As I say, Irish people have a fascination with land, but from a legal perspective and from a law student perspective, it's interesting to see here the question of the enforceability of an agreement in these circumstances. We all know as law students, you learn that any sale of land must be evidenced by a note or memorandum in writing, and without a note or memorandum in writing, it's practically impossible to enforce a sale of property, of real land, as it were, real estate. But in this case, Mr. Gallagher, senior counsel, is saying that there are plenty of notes, plenty of contemporaneous notes, any number of them. It'll be interesting to see what exactly is produced, and it will be interesting to see exactly whether this deal is enforceable or not, or in other words, whether Mr. Magnier has an enforceable deal for the purchase of the Barne Estate, or whether the Thompson Moors can go ahead. 15 million was the agreed price according to Mr. Magnier. 15 million he was paying. He had originally offered 11.5 million and then was going nowhere, and invited the Thompson Moors to his home in August 2022 and agreed a sale for 15 million, he claims. They subsequently agreed to sell it then to the construction magnate Mr. Regan for 22.5 million. So there's a fair difference between 15 million and 22.5 million, let's be honest. But it'll be interesting. Very interesting, and it's a case that's worth keeping an eye on. But as I say, for law students in particular, and solicitors and so on, it has a particular fascination, because the question of an enforceable deal for the sale of land would always require a memorandum or note in writing, and that goes back to the statute of frauds, to centuries, quite frankly, 3 centuries or thereabouts. So it will be interesting, and that's the story. As I say, John Magnier is expected to commence his evidence tomorrow. In this video, I am relying on the reporting from the Irish Times, Ronan McGreevy and Paul Nealon. When I completed the clip there that you've just seen, I didn't realise that Mr. Magnier actually went into evidence today, Tuesday. So he took the stand at the commercial court to give evidence regarding this case. And when he was told why the land deal had failed, he was told one word, John, greed. That's Mr. Magnier's evidence. So he told the High Court that he was outbid in a land deal. He claims he had already agreed in County Tipperary, and that when he inquired about the deal's failure or why it had failed, he was told one word, John, greed, by the estate agent involved. Mr. Magnier took the stand today, Tuesday, in the High Court, in the commercial court. It was a packed High Court, and in fact yet tomorrow I think they're going to give them a bigger court, and that illustrates the interest, the fascination in the Irish mind, in the Irish psyche with land and so on. He took the stand to give evidence in his family's action against the former owners of this Barne Estate in Tipperary. He said he had, in August 2023, shaken hands in agreement with the owners, only for the deal to fall through. Lawyers acting for the founder of Coolmore Stud, John Magnier, have claimed before the High Court that a US-based construction magnate, Maurice Regan, the eventual buyer, engaged in a full frontal assault on Mr. Magnier's claim deal to buy 751 acres of land in Tipperary, the Barne Estate, for €15 million. Magnier's proceedings opened on Tuesday morning. They're expected to last 3 weeks. He claims that the Barne Estate, having reneged on the alleged deal and agreed to sell the land at the higher price of €22.5 million to Mr. Regan, the founder of the New York building firm J.T. Megan. In opening the case, Paul Gallagher, as we've heard, has claimed that Mr. Regan's pursuit of the land breached an exclusivity agreement made on the purported deal between representatives of the estate and Mr. Magnier. Magnier and his adult children want to enforce the alleged deal and enforce the purchase of the Barne Estate for €15 million. They say the deal was struck in 2023 in August 22nd at a meeting at Mr. Magnier's Coolmore stud. They claim that the exclusivity agreement was in effect from August 31st to September 30th, stipulated that the estate would not permit its representatives to solicit or encourage any expression of interest, inquiry or offer on the property from anyone other than Mr. Magnier. Barne Estate had been held for the benefit of Richard Thompson Moore and others by a Jersey trust. The Magniers have sued the Barne Estate, Mr. Thompson Moore and three Jersey companies, seeking to enforce the purported deal, which they say had been unequivocally agreed. The Barne defendants say that there was never any such agreement, and subsequently they entered an agreement to sell the estate to Mr. Regan for €22.5 million. Mr. Regan is not a party to the case. In his evidence, Mr. Magnier told his counsel, Paul Gallagher, senior counsel, that when he inquired about what happened to the failed deal, that the estate agent involved told him one word, John: greed. Magnier said that the first bid for the land was for $10 million and that he wanted to do an off-market private deal to purchase the farm, which was followed by a second bid of €11.25 million. He said that an eventual deal for €15 million was agreed in August 2023 at Coolmore, and everyone was happy with the arrangement. Mr. Magnier was giving evidence on the details of the 2023 deal. Counsel for the defence, Martin Hayden, senior counsel, interrupted, asking if Mr. Magnier was reading from something. Mr. Magnier said he was not, but had his statement with him and passed it down from the witness box, telling Mr. Hayden, "Come up here, you can keep it. That's a bit unfair, I think." Mr. Magnier said that he wanted certainty on the deal and that even though there was a guide price of $13.5 million on the land, he was willing to pay €15 million, which was a premium for knowing he could get a deal through. Mr. Magnier was asked what conditions were attached to the deal. He told counsel that there was a question of giving a contract to an employee on the farm, as he might not complete the harvest if knowledge of the deal came out. Mr. Magnier said that the contract stipulation was a bit odd and that the employee mustn't really like me, that's for sure. Mr. Magnier said that he was told by Mr. Thompson Moore that some people were coming to view the land the day after the alleged deal, but that they would be told that the farm was already sold. The witness said the estate agent the next day came into his Coolmore office and said that he'd received dog's abuse about the sale and had never been treated like that in his life by Mr. Regan. Mr. Magnier said that he knew the deal was in trouble when monies paid by him at the initial stages of the transaction were returned to him in September 2023 by the estate agent, which he found strange. So he claimed to have done a deal in August 2023, but the money was given back to him a month later in September 2023. Mr. Magnier alleged the owners were dragging their feet on the deal and that progress to complete the deal was not possible, even though the $15 million had been transferred to a solicitor in preparation of transfer in good faith. Mr. Magnier said that the exclusivity on the deal had run out in September 2023 and that he wanted to resolve matters and, if possible, avoid going to court. Earlier in the day, Mr. Gallagher, senior counsel for Mr. Magnier, claimed that Mr. Regan allegedly arranged for crime journalist Paul Williams to contact the estate agent. The implication was, according to Mr. Gallagher, was that Mr. Regan's exclusion from the bidding process was somehow unlawful. Mr. Gallagher said Mr. Regan was the man who started all this and said that the US-based businessman had a grandiose and mistaken belief the sale should not go ahead to Mr. Magnier before setting out to destroy the agreement to purchase Barne. The trial is expected to last 13 days. It continues tomorrow before Mr. Justice Max Barrett and is to be moved to a larger courtroom. And by the time Magnier is finished giving his evidence, and other witnesses are brought through their evidence, I would imagine they could be looking for a larger courtroom again. Anyway, that's the John Magnier Barne Estate situation, Barne Estate case. Looking for the enforceability of this deal will be very interesting. I'll be keeping a close eye on it because I'm interested in property myself and land, and anybody who's a student of law or has an interest in law or has an interest in property, will be interested in this. I'll try and keep an eye on it as best I can. Hope you liked the video. Hit the thumbs up button down below if you do. And I am relying on the coverage of this case from the Irish Times, and I'm crediting Ronan McGreevy and Paul Nealon so far. Ronan McGreevy, Paul Nealon, Irish Times. That's the reporting. Thanks a lot.